Hi, it's Caitlin, and I'm here today with swatches of some nail polishes that will be available in the March polish pickup. The theme for March is rainy days. The polishes that I'm showing you today will be available exclusively on the polish pickup website from March 3rd through the 6th. I will link the polish pickup site down in the description, and I'll include the specifics of when the shop opens and closes. All of the polishes that are featured in my video are exclusive to the polish pickup, which means if you like them, you'll have to buy them from the polish pickup between March 3rd and 6th. I will also say that this month is definitely for the blue or teal family of color lovers. If those are your colors, you're going to be very excited about what I have to show you, and I think we should just get into it. First up is Bee's Knees Lacquer. How many lives does this guy have? And this polish is inspired by their favorite rainy day game, Resident Evil 2. This polish is a lion cousin with a smoky purple base and extra sparkly blue to purple shimmer, as well as hollow flakes. This polish has a really nice formula. It is sheer, and I do recommend building it up in 3 coats to get that smoky purple base as, I guess, intense as possible. So what I really like about the Bee's Knees Lacquer formula is it dries really quickly. So even though you have to apply 3 coats, you can pretty much do the first coat, then by the time you're done that, you can do the second, and by the time you're done that, you can do the third. This, as you can see, is very sparkly. Those hollow flakes stand out beautifully, and once you add top coat, which I do recommend because it dries down just a touch more dull than it looks straight out of the bottle, you are going to see just how intense the shimmer is and how sparkly those hollow flakes are. So here it is in 3 coats plus top coat, and that blue to purple shimmer is practically popping off the nail, which I really love about that shimmer that Bee's Knees Lacquer uses. And as you can see, it looks good under the direct lighting where you can see the hollow of the sparkles, as well as outside of that lighting. Here we have Bluebird Lacquer Rainstorming Session. This is my first time including Bluebird Lacquer in my PPU video. This one is inspired by a rainy early evening photo on the streets of New York City. This polish is described as a smoky dark gray base with a fiery red glowy magnetic and deep blue-purple shifting metallic flakies and a sprinkle of hollow flakes. This is a magnetic polish, and I will recommend applying 1 coat just as your base to cover your nail somewhat. And then I went in with a 2nd coat of polish. Don't be stingy with it. Do a good generous layer and then hold the magnet over your nail for as long as you can, 30 seconds to a minute. I sped through it because I didn't want you to have to see me holding it on my nail. And that's going to ensure a really strong line. And then I went in with a 3rd coat of polish and magnetized that once again, just to get everything fully opaque and to get as intense a magnetic effect as possible. And this polish has a really nice formula. It also looks fantastic without the magnetic applied if you're not a fan of the magnetic effect or you just don't have the time for it. As you can see, it does dry down somewhat dull, so definitely use a good thick glossy top coat and apply the magnet once again after you've put on your top coat, just to ensure that strong tight magnetic line if that's the kind of look you're going for. If not, after you apply the top coat, it can sort of re-wet the polish and spread the magnetic line. So it's a choose your own adventure kind of situation with how you apply the magnet and all of the different elements, but I think this looks fantastic as is. I really love the magnetic shift in it, and I love those blue-purple shifting metallic flakes. I think they're really beautiful, and I really love the density of the hollow flakes in this polish. It definitely gives a galaxy effect It's really beautiful, and I didn't really have sun, but it still looks good in overcast. Here we have Clionadh Cosmetic Rainbows, and this polish is described as a gloomy blue base with medium particle shimmer shifting through a rainbow of pink, red, orange, yellow, and green with blue reflective micro glitter. So this polish, when I was applying it, I wasn't even sure if it had micro glitter in it because they're not super obvious, and when I'm done applying this and you see it in different lighting, your mind will probably be blown because this polish is so unique and gorgeous. And a note on the formula, it builds up really nicely in 2 coats, in my opinion. I found it to be relatively opaque. I know some people might not like that the nail line is kind of visible, but I just find with reflective polishes, they might get too thick on the 3rd coat. So I recommend 2 coats of this one and a glitter grabber top coat. But for my swatching purposes, I just used 1 layer of a regular glossy top coat, and it did take care of most of the texture for me. So this is it in 2 coats plus top coat. I love how the top coat plumped it out and just made it look so juicy. You can already see the sparkle. This is when I knew it definitely had reflective glitter in it. And boom, look at that. It looks incredible in the sun. This is so gorgeous and shifty. It looks incredible in the shade with that intense green shift. I think it's magical. And the pink shimmer is also super intense. Right here you can kind of see every color of the rainbow, which is absolutely stunning. I love this polish. Moving along, we have Cupcake polish, Singing in the Rain. And this one is a yellow nail polish packed with blue iridescent shimmer, and it's inspired by the yellow umbrellas and blue rain in the movie Singin' in the Rain. This one has a really nice formula, and as you can already see, the shimmer is super intense, very plentiful, and complements that yellow base beautifully. I did decide to go with 3 coats for this one just because I could still see my nail line quite visibly after the 2nd coat dried down. If you like a sheer look, you could probably leave it in 2, but I wanted to show it in 3. It has a really good dry time, so you don't have to worry about building it up and it taking too long. It has a great formula, and I will note that it does dry down a little bit dull, which is why I recommend a good top coat over top of it. And in a second, you're going to see just how shifty and beautiful this is. It's a really beautiful shade of yellow, very sunny, kind of egg yolky, and then that blue iridescent shimmer makes everything pop. It just looks so good. So here it is. There was a little bit of sun. Thankfully, I was able to catch it at that moment, but it also looks fantastic here out of direct lighting, so it doesn't really matter how you catch this polish, it just looks so good. And it kind of shifts somewhat pink in certain angles, so I don't know if it's just the effect of the blue and yellow together, but as you can see, this is definitely a chameleon depending on the lighting. This one is from Cuticula, and this one's called After the Storm. It's a soft cyan base with strong orange to gold to green shifting flame and a rainbow of shifting glass flakes. I'm a huge fan of glass flakes, and I think that they are used perfectly in this polish. As you can see, it looks absolutely gorgeous just in 1 coat. It's really quite beautiful, and I would potentially leave it in 1 coat depending on my mood, but I will show it to you in 3 just so you can see how it builds up for those who don't like a sheer look to their nails. As you can see, the more you build this up, the more dense that those rainbow flakes get, which is really fun because you start seeing different shapes and sizes and color shifts, which is what nail polish is all about to me, honestly, just getting those fun different elements on my nails. And I'm using the Cuticula Limitless top coat. The scent that's available this month in the polish pickup is Gummy Bears, and it's supposed to smell like a freshly opened bag of gummy bears, which is honestly one of my favorite smells. I love this top coat so much. It dries so quickly, and I just love the glossy look of this nail polish once I've applied the top coat, and I will also show it to you matte. But here it is. You can see all of those beautiful shifts. You definitely get the green and the blue at extreme angles, and it looks fantastic out of direct lighting here. The color shift in those glass flakes is just so much fun. Here was another overcast day. It definitely gives that gold and orange effect with the light behind your hands. And now I've applied a matte top coat. It's the Cuticula Cloud Cover. It's not available in polish pickup, but I really love that matte top coat. You can buy it in their shop. And I think this looks absolutely fantastic with a matte top coat. I might prefer it with a matte top coat. I haven't decided, but I just think it's beautiful and I love this nail polish. Here we have Femme Fatale, which is also new to my polish pickup video, though I have been using Femme Fatale probably since 2014. I might have tried them first in 2014. So this polish is an aqueous turquoise jelly base with a strong pink to gold to green shifting glass fleck shimmer. And within it, there are scattered silver prismatic glitters in various sizes. They do recommend building it up in 3 coats, which is what I did here. So you can see just how beautiful and mermaidy this polish gets in 3 coats. And I do use a glitter grabber top coat on this as well as a regular top coat over top of that because there are glitters in there and it does dry down with some texture. This polish applies really easily in 3 coats. Everything dried really quickly, so there was no dragging or anything between the different layers. It's a really nice formula, very smooth, and here I'm going in with the Glisten and Glow Glitter Grabber, which is available this month in the polish pickup. What you do is you apply a generous coat of it over top of your glitter or gritty polish, and then let it dry for about 5 to 10 minutes. And then you go in with a regular top coat. Any quick drying top coat I would recommend would work well, and then that sort of seals everything, smooths everything out, and you get a super glassy finish. There's no texture, and I just love the way it plumps up glitter polishes. So this is 3 coats of the Femme Fatale, and then glitter grabber, and then a top coat, and you can already see how sparkly this one is. I really love how mermaidy it is. It really makes me think of the beach, which is definitely a good thing right now when we're still in winter. As you can see, this has really nice shifts to it as well, and there's something kind of pearly about it. It reminds me of Buried Treasure. I just really love this polish, and I think it is super fun. Next up, we have Glisten and Glow Umbrella Alley at Camden Market, and this one is a white-based glitter crelly loaded with various shapes and sizes of red, pink, and yellow neon glitters. This one is also blacklight reactive, which I don't have a flashlight to show that effect off, but it's very fun for anyone who might find their hands or themselves under a black light. This polish is inspired by London's famous Camden Market, which has a beautiful alley that's canopied with bright red, pink, and yellow umbrellas. And underneath, you can shop, eat, drink, and dance, and enjoy music and art, which sounds just absolutely magical. This polish, as you can see, builds up really nicely and easily. There are so many glitters in this polish. It truly is packed. The shapes are mostly hexes and circles. I think those are the only shapes. I know it says various, but there's nothing wild like stars or moons or butterfly shaped glitters. but this one has a really nice formula. It does dry down super textured, which is why you're seeing it looking a little bit chunky, but it will smooth out in a second. So I will recommend 3 coats of the polish and then a very generous thick layer of the Glisten and Glow glitter grabber, which you can pick up this month. And this essentially will smooth everything out. And then once you put on your regular top coat, after this, you're going to have a very glassy, smooth, non-textured glitter polish, which is always what I want. So after you've applied the glitter grabber, I would let it dry for about 5 to 10 minutes. Then you go in with a top coat. I'm using the Glisten and Glow top coat, but you can use whatever quick dry top coat you like best. And this is going to give the smoothest possible finish. And as you can see, the polish was super textured, but once everything dries down, I will show it to you dried down so you get a sense of how it truly looks, not just while the top coat is still wet. And here it is, just looking very smooth and squishy and juicy once you've applied all of those layers. And I absolutely love the mix of glitters. This is very summery and it's getting me very excited for neon season and bright nails. Moving along, we have Great Lakes Lacquer Come Again, which is inspired by Mariah's love of the rain. If you remember the rhyme, rain, rain, go away, come again another day, Mariah always means the come again part. And this polish is described as a smoky navy glowing with a red to orange to gold shifting aurora shimmer. And as you can already see on this first coat, that shimmer is very glowy, very intense, stands out beautifully against the deep base color. And this also has a fantastic formula. I was happy with it in 2 coats. Of course, I barely have any visible nail line, so you might want 3, but I was really impressed with the coverage in 2 coats. This dries down just a little bit dull, so use glossy top coat if you'd like, and that really, in my opinion, brings out the shimmer even more. As you can see, it just sort of intensifies everything and it looks absolutely magical. So here it is in 2 coats plus top coat. And now you're going to get the full show. You're going to see just how intensely shifty and shimmery this polish is. It's kind of magical. It's like 2 polishes in one. Here it looks totally gold and green. It's just a fantastic mix of colors and definitely gives me like a gloomy but hopeful vibe to it. Next up is Paint It Pretty Polish Jump in the Puddles, and this one features an aqua base with shifting shimmers in blue, green, and yellow. I absolutely love Paint It Pretty Polish shimmers, and you probably know that if you've been watching my videos for a while. I think that this color combination is really beautiful. It's very springy. It's really interesting too. It almost gives a slightly pearlescent look to it, which I'm a big fan of. And as you will see shortly, the shifts in this one are phenomenal. So this one, I decided to leave it in 2 coats. Again, super short nails when I was swatching this, so I didn't see any nail line through it. And of course, I will recommend a top coat. I absolutely love this polish, and I think you're going to love it when you see it shifting around on my fingers in different lighting. So here it is. It's got like a really ethereal vibe to it. It almost looks purple when I tilt my hands back. The shimmer is almost neon. It's just gorgeous and super, super glowy. This one is truly magnificent. So if you're a fan of blue nail polishes or shimmers, I highly recommend this one. It is very electric with the shimmer shift. Here, I'm not even using any lighting. This is just natural light, and it looks positively glowing. Here we have Polished for Days Sunday Morning, and this one is a teal jelly base with aqua to blue shifting iridescent flakes and black matte flakes and holographic flakes. This one's inspired by Rainy Sunday Mornings, which is a super cute inspiration, and this polish is also super gorgeous and unique, and I already posted it on my Instagram, and so many of you absolutely loved it, so I can only assume that this one is going to be a popular choice for this month's polish pickup. Thankfully, there is no cap on it. So this one, I'm super happy to see those black matte flakes. I haven't seen them in a while in a nail polish, and I'm a huge fan of that element if you didn't already know that, and I think they're used really beautifully in this polish. I was able to get it opaque in 2 coats. Obviously, you might need 3, but it builds up really nicely in 2, and it does have some texture when it dries down, but it's not glitter texture, so it will smooth out with a top coat like Cuticula Limitless, which is what I'm using here. So here it is in 2 coats plus top coat. As you can see, those iridescent flakes are really quite luminous and shifty. I think this is a really beautiful polish. It's really unique, and I just kind of love everything about it. There was a bit of sun, and as you can see, it looks absolutely beautiful in the sun or the shade, and I'm sure it would look fantastic matte as well. And last but certainly not least, we have Sassy Sauce Why So Cirrus, and this one is a denim blue when cold, and it transitions to a pale yellow when warm. It has a strong pink to purple to orange to gold shimmer, and similar shifting flakes and blue to black multi-chrome flakes. So this one is so much fun. There's so much going on, and it all works together really well. I will recommend 2 to 3 coats. I only needed 2 because obviously my nails are so short when I was swatching this, and I was happy with it in 2. This one, yeah, you're gonna see it. I've already said it's so much fun, but I really like the formula as well. Considering there's so much going on, it still applies really evenly and beautifully. There's a really good distribution of all those elements, and it's just really, really fun. I think I've said that 5 times. I will recommend a thick glossy top coat like Cuticula Limitless. That worked really well here to smooth everything out. It's not textured, but some of those larger flakes do stand out. But when you apply top coat, it smooths everything and makes it really even. So this is it when my fingers are cold, and here it is when my fingers are warm. You definitely get a yellow. It's like a 2-in-1 nail polish, which is super fun, and you always see the shift. And what I love about thermals with shimmer is that it looks different in the warm state than the cold state. So it's really entertaining. I really like how everything comes together, and it looks really great in every lighting, as you can see. From the polishes that I shared in my video, I would say the Clionadh Cosmetics is incredible. I know I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with reflective glitters, but this polish is really well done, and at first I wasn't even sure if it had reflective glitter in it, but then when I saw it in certain lighting, I knew it was there. It's an incredible polish. It's so shifty. So let me know in the comments if you're planning on picking up anything you saw in my video. Let me know what else is on your wish list for March, and hopefully I'll see you in my next video. Bye.